Good morning, people, ladies and gentlemen, the ones who want to be neither. So, I did quite spontaneously look for a topic for today's Sunday talk, and I come actually right out of bed, more or less. You can probably see it, and that is exactly the topic I wanted to talk about. Why do we want to look good? I can only give my very personal opinion, because I guess I'm not a standard in this way, or at least I don't feel that the feedback I get is not like I was thinking in a standard way. Let's first talk about some, let's say, objectivity arguments for it, or for not doing it, or just think it through from outside. Well, is it needed for your health to look good? Well, some minimal hygiene is probably advised, but that's it. So you could actually more or less live in the mud, and you would get some bacteria living on your body, and actually you get an equilibrium of bacteria and their production, their life, and your body would be kept mostly healthy, even though it might look quite dirty. So this is not a necessity to take showers every day, or even more take deodorants. It's not a necessity to get some clean clothing. Dirty clothing wouldn't make you really sick, if not in some extreme cases. And especially I'm wearing white socks today, deliberately, because white socks seem to be considered a bad thing in most cases, except if you are doing sports. Then some other socks seem to be a bad thing, and white seems to be a good thing. And so there is no actual necessity to do this. If your socks are white or black or blue or green, or who cares? Your body wouldn't care, your health wouldn't suffer from it. I can't see if the camera is still running, because there is too much light coming in from the window, and the camera display is simply not visible. Far too much light. It can't compete with the sun. Yeah, that's hard. Anyway, so, but looking good. If your hair is combed or not combed, okay, it can have some health issues. If you have things living in your hair that shouldn't be there. But at the other hand, it does not have to be that perfect. The haircut does not have to be perfect for you to stay healthy. So a minimum of hygiene, okay, but that's a real minimal minimum. There is not much you have to do. So I guess the conclusion can be, in my opinion, of course, this is not scientific. I did not research a lot about it. In my opinion, it's clearly not a health issue, it's actually an issue of society. So, but what benefits do you have if you look good instead of looking bad, even worse than I'm looking now. And this t-shirt is not perfect, but at least it's washed. The trousers are a bit too big, and so on, and the socks are white, and the hair isn't actually combed, and the beard neither. So even I, as I'm here currently, I probably would look like somebody not caring too much about how he looks. Which probably is sort of true in my case. I'm a technician, but I'm aware of the point that there are different looks for different situations. This look would be acceptable for some very informal stuff, if I'm being in my own house and so on. That's perfectly acceptable. If I were to meet a customer, it wouldn't be great, but it depends a lot on the customer actually. Some customers wouldn't care, but in general customers might care about it, and so I would change my style to the business style, and that means at least cleanly combed, no holes in the trousers, and this t-shirt, this was the cheapest one possible and drawn by hand. No, I wouldn't take it to a customer visit. And here we are at the point. I think it's very much a matter of society and occasion. Because we have quite an open society in these cases. It's not that society in general here in Switzerland and so would be especially harsh, as long as you don't run around really quite naked or extremely dirty, and as long as the smells you emit are not too bad. This is an important thing. If you are smelling bad and look good, you probably have a bigger problem than if you look bad and smell good. At least in my opinion. So yeah, society, occasion and so on. And we have an open society. We can do quite a lot. But still it depends on where you go, what you want to achieve. If you don't want to stand out especially well, especially positive, you can wear nearly everything you want. But if you have some specific purpose, you want to make yourself look good, as the term already says. Look good not only in the sense of clothing, but in the sense of look competent, something like this. You have to dress up in the right way. So it's mostly a signal. Right now the signals I'm sending is that I slept in and I don't actually care. I put in a chewing gum. I'm talking like I'm a potato. No. And so on. But actually that chewing gum is actually dental chewing gum, so it actually would probably improve my picture if it comes to smell. Because at least I'm smelling like spearmint now, and not like have been fallen right out of the bed without brushing teeth. That's a smell that wouldn't be appreciated in general. So the chewing gum, even though it looks a bit like a cow, it probably improves my overall image if I would meet somebody in person right now. And yeah, dental hygiene has quite a lot to do with health actually, so I would not recommend skipping it completely. I guess the level some people want to achieve is a bit higher than necessary, but if you really skip every dental hygiene, you have a problem. So I would say this is definitely a thing to do. But again, for health, the level does not have to be as high as for society, for our current society, I have to say. Because the views of society differ greatly, that's a matter of fact. It depends on the possibilities a society has. Some people living in the woods all day, they lack certain possibilities. So it's generally accepted to be at the level you can achieve by the possibilities available. We have so many possibilities that it nearly is impossible to stay at the level all the possibilities we have here around in the cities, in the industrial countries. If you wanted to have the maximum technically possible, you would probably severely impair your health, because the whole thing is going to the other side. And the amount of chemicals you apply to your body would kill you over some time. So, yes, I guess we have pretty much summed it up. It depends on what you want to achieve, on your goals, and on the picture you want actually to transport. And on the society you live in, you have to reach some minimal requirements, as probably you have to be clothed at all in our society. In other society this is not the case. So yeah, variations are incredibly high. But I think I did not ask some African tribe chief about it, but I think that in society where clothing seems to be far less important and people really walk around mostly naked, I'm quite sure that they have their own set of rules, and it is probably not as free as it looks. That's something I deducted from general psychological knowledge I have. People and tribes, and yeah, we live in bigger tribes sort of, and more mixed groups. They all tend to develop a rule set. And no matter how this rule set might actually look from outside, it's always a rule set, it's always kind of strict, and you always get punished if you don't stick to it. So I don't think there is a human society not having a rule set you have to stick to them in terms of appearance and of course behavior anyway. And so you always have to adapt your appearance to what you want. If you are in a society of punks, you have to look like a punk and you have to smell like a punk. It might look for our more bourgeois people like they had no rules, but that's definitely not the case. I'm very sure about this. And even among engineers and computer scientists, sort of the way you look is probably even there important. They all say it's not important and they do their best to be open. But I think it's not humanly possible to accept everything. That's how humans work. So yeah. And we all, I think even the ones that do not want to adapt, sort of adapt or adapt to their own group, to the group saying that they do not want to adapt to the group's rules. Then they form another group and they have their own rules, sort of, even if the most important rule is to not stick to other person's rules. But you can't, if you want to live in a group, you have a set of rules, and this does affect your appearance. You can't get out of this. So, thank you for watching, and if you want to share your thoughts, feel free. And have a nice weekend or whatever day you are watching this video.